Namaste, friends. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying time with your family, with your animals, with your home. I hope you are doing things that bring you joy and self-care throughout this time. I know me personally as a mother with 4 at home usually, it's really hard to find the space for myself in my home. So starting a home practice now is important more than ever to be able to maintain what you may have been getting from the studio or from your own self-care practice when you're able to have a little more downtime, a little more free time for yourself. Keeping up with that and doing it when maybe they go to bed or if you get up a little earlier. I know sometimes that's almost nearly impossible because they get up so early and they want to stay up so late. But if you can try to squeeze in 30 minutes here or there for yourself, give them some screen time, who cares? Do something so that you can have some of that space that you are used to having for yourself. I know that for me, that's really important. But I hope that you're also enjoying some family time. Let them come into your yoga practice now and then. Try something new as far as exercise and staying active with the family goes. So for today, excuse me, my allergies still are affected by the pollen. For today, we're gonna come into another Feel Good Flow class. You may just need a block, maybe some water, maybe a little blanket if you have a blanket at home you'd like to use. If we come down to a knee, that'd be great. And we're gonna continue to focus on some grounding, but also just some more movement in the body. Let's get things flowing. Let's stop being so stagnant, maybe from binge watching or reading extra books lately. So let's just get some movement back into the body. So starting off, we'll ground through the sitting bones. Grow the spine up nice and tall. I'm Gracie, by the way, if you haven't met me before, here at Grateful Hearts Yoga in Crestview, Florida. But hopefully I'm right in your living room. Grounding through the sitting bones. Grow the spine up nice and tall. You can allow the eyes to soften and close if that's comfortable for you, and just listen to the sound of my voice. Maybe even let the hands fall open to receive on the knees. As we take a few moments here, just to notice how the body's feeling this morning or afternoon, whenever you're practicing. We'll start by taking some deep breaths in through the nose. Notice the pause and exhale through the nose. As you continue to keep these deep breaths going through the body, just take that mental inventory, scanning from head to toe. And take this time to drop into our practice, into this present moment, where nothing else matters, not yesterday or last night or last year. And we're not feeling fearful or anxious of anything that's yet to come in the future. We're simply coming into our body, into our practice today for some extra grounding, that feeling of being present within our bodies, and letting go of all that no longer serves us right now. Follow that breath like a wave on the ocean, on the shore. As you inhale, your wave rolls all the way up to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, that wave crests and rolls all the way to the base of your spine. A few more deep breaths. As you next inhale, we'll start to bring the hands to the heart, tuck your chin in towards the chest. And we'll set an intention for your own personal practice today, whatever you want to dedicate this time on your mat to. It can be a positive affirmation. It can be that thing you're most grateful for this morning. It can just be some love of yourself, showing yourself some loving kindness today on your mat. Whatever that intention may be, seal it into the heart through your thumbs. Honoring each other as we travel through this practice of yoga together, virtually. Namaste. Blinking the eyes open. Let's drop the head over to the right shoulder, right ear towards right shoulder. Right hand can come to the top of the head, just above the left ear. Left fingertips can drop down to the earth. Again, you can keep your eyes closed for these warm-ups and just listen to my voice. Deep breaths as you gently stretch right ear towards right shoulder. And inhale, drops left ear towards left shoulder. Left hand can come to the top, guiding it softly. Right fingers can come down to the earth. Remember to keep your breath flowing through your practice to guide each movement. Inhale, drop the head, find that half circle, horseshoe shape, ear to ear, shoulder to shoulder. Working out any kinks from our sleep or from looking down at our phones or our books. Maybe making a full circle. If it's okay with the head and neck, maybe even reversing your circle. Being gentle with yourself here. Inhale takes the gaze up overhead, and exhale, drop the chin towards your chest. Send some awareness to the navel, pressing it towards the spine as you elongate the back of your neck. Inhale brings the hands all the way up overhead with the gaze. Exhale, twisting. Take your right hand to the left knee. I think this was opposite in last video, so if you do it, just do whatever. Right or left, doesn't matter. Pick a side. Breathe in deep. Keep that elbow slightly softened so you can pull yourself a little deeper, gazing over back shoulder. Inhale, back up overhead, reaching long. Exhale, twist opposite direction. Inhale, reach back up overhead. And then exhale, drop that right palm down to the floor or the forearm or that block. You can always have your block here if you have it handy. Just find that edge that works for you, that nice side body stretch, maybe gazing upward. Maybe even you inhale and open the shoulder, gazing up, and exhale, closing it back down. Find your own breath and movement here if that feels right. Inhale, back up overhead. Exhale, drop that left palm down. Right arm reaches overhead. Maybe inhale and open up towards the sky with that right shoulder. Exhale, close it down. Find your own breath and movement. Inhale, we'll reach both fingers up overhead. Interlace the fingers pointing up or back. And then exhale, float the fingers out in front. Lengthen through the spine, folding just as far as you'd like. Inhale, walk fingers back. Change the cross of the feet, opposite foot on top or in front. Inhale, hands rise again. Interlacing, looking up or back. And exhale, float them out long in front. Inhale, walk the fingers back. Let's take the right leg out wide. Leaving your left foot in and bent. And then we'll turn our chest and shoulders open towards this right leg. Inhale, the hands can rise. Exhale, hinging at the hips, floating forward. Keep that spine nice and long and lifted through crown of the head. Have some patience with all the tight spaces you might feel. If we've been without a practice for a few days, breathing into these areas. Inhale, flip this right hand over towards the inside of your right leg or foot, and let that left arm rise open towards the sky. Again, your gaze follows. Get that nice left side body stretch again. And you're releasing some tension in the neck if you feel some more. And next, inhale, we're gonna plant the left palm under the left shoulder. And you can stay seated and just stretch here, or you can press all the way up to that left knee, opening the right arm, gazing up for that baby wild thing, gazing up or back. Exhale, pull it back down to the earth, switching sides, and the left leg long and wide, right leg in and bent. Open chest and shoulders towards this side. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, hinging at the hips, float forward. Breathe in deep. Keep that spine nice and long and lifted. Hinging only at the hips. Inhale, take that left hand, flip it over towards the inside of your left leg or foot. Open up the right arm, gazing up as you open. And then inhale, plant that right palm. You can stretch just here or press all the way up to that right knee, opening for baby wild thing as you look up or back. And exhale, bring it on down. If you happen to notice my Band-Aids, got in a fight with the gravel driveway playing some backyard baseball. So next, inhale, taking both feet out wide. Nice and tall through the spine. And start just to float from one ankle to the other. Just add a little movement again through the side bodies. Keeping the toes flexed and pointed up towards the sky. Using your breath to guide this movement side to side. As you next inhale, bring both arms up overhead, reaching long. Check in with those toes and knees, see if they're faced upward. Exhale, start to float forward, hinging at the hips. Let the hands fall to the earth where it feels natural. You can always use that block if you'd like to place the hands on, or just walk the fingertips out until you find that 70% effort, where nothing's pinching or burning or stinging, but we're pushing past that midway mark so that we can facilitate growth in our flexibility, and our deepening of our postures. Deep breath here. Maybe the exhale softens you a bit more into the pose. Again, finding that edge that's specific to you. Inhale as we rise, we'll walk the fingertips back, lengthen up through the spine, and then slowly pull the soles of the feet together for our butterfly pose, flapping out your wings. Get it nice and tall through the spine, maybe even giving your soles of your feet a little love, a little self-massage here. Since all of our massage places are closed right now. Might as well start loving on yourself a little bit, even though it's not the same. I get it. Maybe that's a good family date night, spa night in your living room, right? pay my children to do those types of things, but maybe they'll do it for free since we're quarantined. All right, let's give a little love to the hips. So let's take this right foot up, right leg up, and cradle it like a baby. Let me scoot back on the mat just a bit. Cradle it like a baby, rocking side to side. You can even play with taking the prayer hands underneath the leg. Again, keeping up nice and tall through the spine. Just notice what you notice with any tightness here. As you next inhale, take this right foot into the left hand and press it away from the body and then back to the body like a bow and arrow. Just giving some more love to this right hip. And then when you're ready, we'll take this right hand to the right foot or shin or thigh and pull it away from the body, bracing the left hand on the left knee. You can also take the peace fingers to the big toe. Everybody's proportioned differently, so just figure out where this grasp is comfortable for you and keep that knee as softly bent as you need to while we're working into these hamstrings and hips. Nice and tall through the spine. If this pose is simple for you and you already have mastered some of this flexibility and you're working on deepening or coming to a deeper posture, you can work on that compass pose, taking the left hand to the right foot, taking the right shoulder through, and gazing up towards the sky, under your left elbow. It's a fun one to play with since you're at home and nobody cares, right? Switching sides, you can take this right leg up, cradle it like a baby. Breathe in deep. Maybe taking the hands under in prayer under this left leg. Any little movements, rocking around or making little circles. And then you can take the right hand to the foot, shoot it out, and back in. And then taking the left hand to the foot or shin or thigh, pull it away from your body, bracing right hand on the right knee. Find that grasp that works for you. If you want to play with deepening on this side, you can try that compass pose. I don't know if I can. Sides are different day to day. This might not be as straight. Okay, that's as good as it goes. And then bringing both feet into the hands. Maybe waddle on the sitting bones, this lifted butterfly. And then take out the right leg, then the left. Find that bear pose as you ground through the sitting bones, working the core. Shoulders to the back socket so you're not overextending in the shoulders. Awesome job, bring it back down. We're gonna come all the way to our cat and cow, our tabletop pose. So if you have that blanket and you want it underneath the knees, you can do so. Coming down to the palms, shake them out, roll them around. Again, I don't know how my little baseball boo-boo is gonna do, but we're gonna try our best today. And grounding through the palms. Inhale, open, belly hangs, gaze rises. Exhale to round, navel pressing towards the spine. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Halloween cat. Inhale, the belly hangs towards the earth, happy cow. Exhale to round. Any little movements here, if you want to wag the tail side to side, or just take a couple more rounds of this cat and cow. It should feel delicious to the spine.
Coming back through center when you're ready. We can take it up a notch and come to that unbalanced table. Left leg comes back, right arm out in front. Activate the core, navel towards your spine as you inhale. Exhale, maybe crunch knee to elbow and find that flow with your own breath and movement. Or you can just hold this pose statically, working on that balance of being on an unbalanced table. Exhale, replace and release both hand and knee. Maybe wag the tail side to side. And we'll switch, taking right leg back, left arm out in front. Nice long spine, inhale. Exhale, maybe crunch and find that flow. Inhale, back out and then release and replace. Maybe wag the tail side to side. And take a child's pose here, sitting the hips back towards the heels. Elongating through the spine. Arms can stay out long in front. And as you next inhale, crawl the fingertips over to the right side, stretching left side body. Exhale back through center. Inhale to the left. Inhale all the way back through center. Let's come to our plank pose. If you want to take a moment to stretch the calves while you get there. Just bouncing on the balls of the feet. And then remember, your plank can be taken on toes or knees, palms down under shoulders. Take a little side plank. So we're going to roll to the right, to the palm, or dropping down to that right knee. If you don't want to be up on the toes, if that's not quite in your practice today, you can always drop down to this right knee. Or stack the feet or stagger the feet. So find what works for you in this side plank. Left arm rises. And then that left arm can reach towards the front of the room or the front of your body, wherever your head's pointing. You can even play with tapping the knee towards the elbow. Setting the foot down back to the earth and then tapping again. We're just playing here. You're in your living room. It's cool. Have fun with it. You can maybe even open up to that wild thing as that left foot touches the earth. So the left knee is bent. And you can look over back. Exhale, come back towards your plank. And we'll roll to the left side. Either dropping that left knee down or stacking or staggering the feet. Right arm can rise towards the front. Reaching so you can add some more of that side body stretch. Exhale, maybe crunch knee to elbow. Touch the foot to the earth. That top foot down. And open up to that wild thing. If that feels right. And come back through center. Find your downward facing dog. A big exhale through the open mouth as you walk your dog. Any little movements in your downward facing. If you want to take both feet over to the right and lean again, opening. Maybe both feet towards the left side of your mat, leaning and opening. Maybe take them wide, see how that changes shape and feel of your dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come back through center and start to walk the feet forward towards the front of your mat. Hands rise to the shins, half fold, half rise. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, float all the way forward, Uttanasana. So grounding through your feet here, you can grab alternate elbows, let the head hang. You can take a little side to side sway. little yes or no with the head. And you can bring the fingers underneath the toes, bend the knees, look forward for gorilla. Exhale, come back to your fold. You're gonna frame the feet and step the right foot back. Big step back and adjust your blanket if you have one. And bring it under the right knee. So you can drop that right knee down to the earth. Inhale to rise. If you need your block or two, you can always pull that over for some stability as you rise up nice and tall through the spine. Inhale, hands can rise all the way up overhead, gazing up or back if you want to add that gentle back bend. And then exhale, pull that prayer through the heart. Take that twist. Right elbow to the left knee, or right knee down to the earth, left hand to the hip. Take a couple deep breaths here. Inhale, come on down to frame the feet. And maybe step that left foot forward just a bit. We're gonna add a little movement in our low lunge. Lunging deeply forward, whatever feels right. And then rolling all the way back, maybe even all the way to the left heel. Stretching the hamstring again. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, back. Take as much time or go as slowly as you'd like to here. As you notice what you notice. As you next inhale, roll forward. And we're going to pivot all the way down to that right hip. So the left ankle, the left heel can pull in towards this right hip that's on the earth. And take a moment here, maybe get up nice and tall through the spine. You can try to reach around this left knee towards the ankle. You can even press into the right palm under right shoulder, lift and stretch the IT band. If you can make that grasp to the right ankle, right foot, you can press into the palm and lift. See how that feels, trying to lift. It's called a baby grasshopper. It's fun, right? We're at home, nobody cares. So we're gonna pivot all the way back around to this right knee. Left foot comes under the left knee. And then we're gonna sweep it around to where you're on your plank pose again, on knees or toes. And we'll drop down to our cobra pose. Knees to the chest, drop down to the earth. Keep elbows in tight to the ribs. Start to peel the chest away. Bhujangasana. And then exhale, find your downward facing. Walk it out. Lifting sits bones high. Any little movements in your dog. And you can walk or jump forward. Half rise, hands to the shins. Exhale to fold. And then we'll switch sides. Send that left leg back. Drop the left knee down to the earth. Use your block if you need to as you lengthen up through the spine. Hands can come to the heart as you stack this right knee over right ankle. Inhale, hands rise. Gazing up or back if you want to add that gentle back bend. Exhale, pull that prayer through the heart. Take your twist. Left knee to right, left elbow to right knee. Or left hand down to that blocker mat, right hand to the hip. Couple deep breaths. Inhale, come on back to frame the feet. Maybe step that foot forward just a tad as you add some movement here. Same as we did on the other side, just rolling up and back. Being gentle with yourself, taking your time. Notice where you're holding any tightness. When you're ready, we're going to pivot all the way to that left hip. Draw that right heel in towards the left hip. Maybe reach around the front of the knee towards the ankle, the left ankle, left foot. You can, again, try to press into that left palm and lift. Notice what you notice. Or just press in without lifting the foot, stretching the IT band. And when you're ready, come all the way back around. And that foot under the right knee. And you can send that right foot around to meet the left knee, or coming to your plank pose, toes or knees. When you're ready, drop knees, chin and chest, or chaturanga. So chaturanga would just be keeping those palms right under shoulders, elbows in tight to the ribs like a push-up. You can come to your upward dog that way, on tops of the feet. Or you could come to that cobra, dropping knees, chin and chest down to the earth. Keeping elbows in tight, start to peel the chest away. So you have options in your flow always. Whatever your body's asking for to get you to downward facing dog. Alternate pressing heels toward the earth. This time I'm just gonna throw my blanket over out of the way. I'm gonna lift my right foot up and back for a three-legged dog. Right hip is pointing down at the earth first. And then I'm gonna inhale and open, stacking for a fire hydrant. Next inhale, I'm gonna pull that right knee in through the belly and the chest. Bring it up in between the hands, so I'm at a high lunge, or a higher lunge than I was. Still considered low. I'm gonna keep my left palm planted under left shoulder, and I'm gonna let my right arm rise towards the sky. So we're revolved, low lunge, with my knee lifted. And here's where it might get tricky for some. I'm gonna pull my left foot up to my right glute. So this right hand is gonna meet my left foot, and I'm gonna pull it right up towards my right glute. You can always have your block here for support if you need a little extra. So this is a variation of my standing split. Pulling my right foot in towards my right glute. And I'm hinging at the hips, floating forward. Breathe in deep. Next, inhale, release that foot. The right hand can come down to your block or mat under right shoulder. And we're coming to our half moon pose. So opening left toes and hip towards the side. Maybe you stay right here on the earth, or maybe you start to let that left arm rise. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So all kind of fun things you can do with this pose. You could like pulse the leg upward. You could reach around towards the ankle for the grasp or sugar cane. Whatever you feel like challenging yourself with in this moment. When we're ready, I'm gonna bring my hands back around, plant that left foot next to my right. Inhale, half rise, and exhale to fold. Uttanasana. And I'm gonna step back, find my plank pose, and your flow to your downward facing, whatever that means in this moment for you. If that's a cobra or a chaturanga to an up dog, just find where you are to downward facing. Alternate pressing the heels towards the earth. And then we're switching sides, send that left leg up and back for three-legged. The left hip is pointing down at the earth first. And then open for fire hydrant, stacking the hips, opening. Pull that left knee in through the belly and the chest, step it up in between the hands. Keep that right palm planted in the earth as you let the left arm rise. Breathe in deep here. Inhale, we're gonna start to bring that right foot in towards the left glute. Might be a little tricky of a transition for some, but just play with it. Notice how it feels. Into our modified standing split. So you're hinging at the hips. Maybe use that block for stability. Inhale, release the foot. Plant the left palm under left shoulder, block our mat. Open up to that Ardha Chandrasana on this side. So again, maybe you stay right here on the earth, just taking the right toes and hip open to the side. Or once you find that balance, you can let the right hand rise. Whatever you did on the other side, if you took some pulses, or if you took the bind. We're gonna release both hand and foot. Bring that right foot to meet the left. Inhale, half rise. Exhale to fold. Curl the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Hands coming up all the way overhead. And exhale to the heart. Take a big deep breath here as you feel that earth energy beneath you. Through the feet. Find the heart rate to settle and soften. Letting gratitude fill the heart with each inhale. Exhale, letting it go a little more deeply. Whatever's not serving you, any of the anxiety, any of the built up, I don't know, wiggles, anything that's been bothering you. Exhale it out. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, we're going to drop the knee, or bend the knees, dropping the hips into our Utkatasana, chair pose or power pose. From here, we're going to exhale, float the hands down, frame the feet, then we're going to send the left leg up and back for a warrior three. So again, the hands can stay right here, or they can flirt with the balance, bringing the hands to the heart, or maybe those airplane arms, just a little more standing, balancing with our warrior three. Check in with wherever you are in this moment. Hands can even come out in front. And we'll bring that left foot back to meet the back to meet the right. Drop the hips, find your chair pose. Utkatasana. Arms are up by the ears. Exhale, float them down, send that right leg back. Warrior three on this side. Again, find your balance. Find where you are today in this moment. Doing a little self-study in your warrior three. Exhale, release the right foot back down. We'll fold forward, Uttanasana. And we're going to come all the way to the earth. Planting the feet, planting the sitting bones. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, float forward. Give yourself a little hug. So reach underneath the backs of the thighs. Give yourself a good squeeze. Maybe the head rest down towards the shins. Inhale, when you're ready, we'll work a little core into our Navasana. So you can plant the palms right under shoulders. Inhale, lift the legs to 90. Or you can grab backs of the thighs. You can let the hands come out. Maybe start to straighten through the legs. Find the edge of a boat pose that works for you, Navasana. Work in our core, breathing deep into that core body. Chin guides your gaze upward. Exhale, release the feet back to the earth, plant palms under shoulders. Inhale, lift the hips, reverse your table, gazing upper back. Exhale, come all the way back down. We're gonna come to a low boat, down to the earth with the heels, planting palms and forearms down into the mat. Working that girdle of our abdomen a little more deeply with our low boat. So inhale, lift one leg, and then the other, gazing upward, maybe scissoring the legs. Maybe let the arms come out into it. Maybe you want to challenge yourself and float back to your regular boat and then back to your low boat with each breath. You get to choose how deeply you work the core. When you're ready, let's canoe all the way back to the earth. Lower vertebrae down to the earth one at a time. Arms come up overhead. Exhale everything out, rolling ankles and wrists. Big deep breaths. We'll pull right knee into the chest, give it a good squeeze. And we'll drop this right knee over towards the left. If your block is nearby, you can place that block under the knee, or maybe it comes down to the earth. If the shoulders feel good and square towards the mat, maybe you take your right arm out and gaze over that right shoulder. If something doesn't feel right about this spinal twist, then roll back through center. Just check in, and then maybe try it again. Inhale, slowly roll back through center, hugging the knee. Exhale, switching sides, and that right leg long. Bring the left knee in towards the chest, give it a good squeeze. Exhale, pull left knee over towards the right, down towards the earth. Maybe you find that block or blanket. Left knee can tee out from the armpit, gazing over the shoulder, if that feels right to you. Inhale, slowly roll back through center, hug both knees into the chest. And maybe just rock gently side to side. Massage in the sacrum, the low to mid back on the earth. Maybe even take the hands to the knees. Let the knees guide your hands away from your body and then back to your chest. Massaging digestive organs. A little more love to the hips. Switching direction of your circle. And then allowing your feet to float up towards the sky, knees towards the armpits, find your happy baby pose. Again, maybe rocking side to side. Maybe bending one leg, extending the other. Switching sides, or taking them both wide. Or maybe taking soles of the feet together, like a reclined, lifted butterfly. And then dropping soles of the feet down to the earth, windshield wiping the knees and hips side to side, massaging the glutes against your mat. And letting the knees face up towards the sky, planting soles of your feet. Arms can come down along your sides. Inhale, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes in towards each other from micro bridge pose. Breathe in deep. And exhale, release back down to the earth. Inhale, lift again, squeezing. Maybe you deepen your bridge, shimming shoulders underneath, like you're squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades. Reaching towards the heels or feet, deepening this micro bridge. You can stay here, or you can bring the hands to the low back, top the butt. Find your shoulder stand, lifting one leg, then the other, or just throwing yourself up. You're at home again, try it, it's fun. Nobody cares what you look like. Only matters how you feel. So maybe scissoring or bicycling the legs, or maybe drop down to that Halasana plow pose, toes back beyond your head, beyond your mat. You can even interlace fingers, drop them down to the earth. Making sure all this feels okay on the back of the neck. And then roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. Hug the knees. One more time into the chest, give them a good squeeze. If you need to rock and roll to find your props, you can always place this blanket under the head. And since I only brought a block, maybe I just place this block under my knees. If you have pillows nearby, you can always place a pillow underneath your knees. Or maybe just stretching out is more comfortable. If you're near a recliner, you can place your feet right up on the couch. Whatever's most comfortable for you to relax. Let's take this time, this corpse pose, Shavasana, for the next several moments, to just connect back with your intention, with your breath and your body, as we start to settle into rest. Maybe even a little pranayama, a little practice of manipulation of the breath. As you notice the inhales through the nose, and the exhale through the nose. Maybe you start to count the length of your inhales. Maybe that's 3 or 4 or 5. And match them to the length of your exhales. Then maybe extending the length of your exhale just a count or 2 longer than that of your inhale. Not to where you're grasping for breath on your inhale, but just noticeably different. Allowing your body to drop out of that fight or flight mode into this parasympathetic nervous system, where we can rebuild on the cellular level, replenishing our energies through breath and movement, and now stillness. And the body will let you know when it's ready to return to an organic breath pattern and ready to soften. If there's a new way you can become 1% more comfortable in your body, do so now. Don't rob yourself of this time to relax. Don't turn off your video just yet. This is the most important part of yoga, is that we let our body replenish and restore and heal from the inside out. I can't say it's the most important part of yoga, but the most looked forward to part, I guess, in a yoga class is this moment, these moments of just quieting the body, the mind. And if that's hard for you to do, especially in all that's going on in our world, maybe repeating a mantra will work for you. So maybe you just say to yourself, I am safe, with each breath. Or I like the mantra So Hum, translating to I am that. I'm connected to all that is. So on my inhale, I'll say so in my mind, and on my exhale, hum. free to pause it here and stay in this Shavasana as long as you'd like to. If you drift off to sleep on your mat, that's okay too. That's just your body's way of letting you know you need a little more sleep. Or maybe that you've done your job well of moving and getting all your energy flowing. Your body appreciates this rest. When you're ready, begin to bring some awareness back to fingers and toes. Maybe gentle movements of the head side to side. Maybe bring the arms above the head to stretch. Like you've just woken up. And when you're ready, start to roll to the side of your choice, giving yourself one more internal hug of gratitude, cradling your head, thanking your body for being such an amazing system, thanking yourself for doing the work inwardly and outwardly on your mat today, for showing up for yourself, giving yourself this time, this love back to your body, mind, and your spirit. And when you're ready, start to roll back to that easy seated pose, pressing yourself up. Bring the hands into the heart as we honor this ancient practice of yoga. I pray that you are all staying safe and well, enjoying this time with your loved ones, with your immediate families. Continuing to send so much love and light to you all. Can't wait to see your smiling faces back into the studio soon, whenever this is all said and done. To see what we have learned and how we have awakened in this situation, as a community, as a tribe, as a nation. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in each one of you.